Today we're going to be talking about 4.6 mixed numbers and improper fractions. So there's some terms that you're going to need to know for today's lesson. The first one is a mixed number. Read to me what a mixed number is.
Has a whole number and a fraction.
Okay, out of this right here, 2 3/4, what's my whole number?
2.
2. What is the fraction?
3/4.
3/4, okay? So how do you read this to me? Go ahead.
2 and 3/4.
2 3/4. Excellent job. Let's go on to the next one. A proper fraction. Read to me what a proper fraction is.
The numerator is less than the denominator.
All right, so which one's the numerator?
1.
The 1. The number on top is always your numerator. So this is just a normal looking fraction, or we call it a proper fraction. 1/4, because the numerator on top is smaller than the denominator. So you can see now an improper fraction is very much the opposite. Read to me what an improper fraction is.
The numerator is greater than the denominator.
Okay, so you can see right here, 9/4, the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So those are the 3 vocab words that you're going to need to know for today. The instructions for number 1 are asking us to write the mixed number as an improper fraction. Okay, so once again, this is a mixed number because I have a whole number and I have a fraction, so it's mixed. The first thing you're going to do, just take your red pen and do this for me. Does anyone know what I'm going to do with that 3 and that 6? You multiply it. Okay, so you're multiplying those together. What is 6 times 3? 18. Okay, then what do I do with my 5? Okay, go ahead and draw a little arrow right there with the plus sign because you're going to have to add those together. Okay, so basically what this is saying right here is you are taking 6 times 3 plus 5, but you're going to keep your denominator exactly the same. So you're simply just bringing that denominator right back down there over 6. Okay, so tell me one more time. What's 6 times 3? 18 plus 5? 23. So your answer, because you're going to keep the same denominator, is 23/6. Let's look at example B. It says 2 3/8. What should I do first?
Multiply 8 times 2.
Okay, what is 8 times 2? 16. Then what do I do?
Add the 3.
Add the 3. Okay, so you multiply that and you add that. And when you add 3 to it, what do you get? 19. And right, as you said, you are going to keep the same denominator. So your answer is 19/8. All right, so that is how you write a mixed number as an improper fraction. Now let's look at example 2. It's telling us to do just the opposite. Now it says to write the improper fraction as a mixed number. So I've got 23/6. Basically, whenever you have a fraction bar, that simply means 23/6. Okay, so you're dividing it. How many times can a 6 go into a 23? 3 times. Okay, now what is 3 times 6?
18.
18. What is 23 minus 18? 5. We're going to label the different parts that we have here. The 3 is going to be your whole number. Okay, so the 3 is my whole number. Do you guys know what this 5 is going to be? The numerator. Okay, so now I need a denominator. Which number is going to be my denominator?
6.
The 6. Okay, so those are the 3 parts that we need for our mixed number. So what is my final answer?
3 and 5/6.
3 5/6 is correct. We're going to go ahead and do example B. 17/3 means 17 divided by 3. How many times can a 3 go into a 17?
5 times.
5 times without going over. And then what would my remainder be? 2. So what's the answer? 5 2/3 is correct. Are there any questions of how to change an improper fraction to a mixed number? No questions. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go on. I'm going to do just a couple review problems with you because, as I said before, your next test that you have coming up is going to be over the entire Chapter 4. So it's going to be over the 3 new sections we're doing and the previous sections that we just had a test over. As I said, this is a little bit of a review of what we did before. You're trying to put them in simplest form, which means you're reducing them. What number can go into a 12 that can also go into a 16? 2. A 2, but there's something bigger than a 2.
4.
A 4. Okay, so you want to divide by 4 on top and bottom. Remember, this is how you show me your work. When you do that, what does it reduce to?
3/4.
3/4. Okay, box that answer in. How many of you got that answer? All right, good job. Let's go to the next one. 14/34. What number goes into both of them? Isabel?
2.
A 2. So you divide by 2 on top and bottom. Because if you remember, when I divide by 2 over 2, what number is 2 over 2? It's just the number 1. So you're just dividing by 1, which means you're getting yourself. What's my new answer?
7/17.
7 over 17, or 7/17. All right, so the last problem that we're going to do today as a review is to find the GCF and the LCM by using prime factorization. What is prime factorization? Upside down division. So go ahead and do that for me, and then we will check it here in just a minute. So here we're finding the GCF and the LCM. Check out your prime factorization. Here's what on the last test, you guys mostly did a good job getting these factors. But it was after this point that most people made their mistakes. And even as we were just talking about the answers we got, a lot of you made mistakes because you didn't know what to do next, okay? What is my next step, guys? List them in order from least to greatest, okay? What do I do after I list them?
You circle the pairs.
Circle the pairs. Remember the step where we said the 2 become 1. This is where most people made the mistake. When you bring those down, the 2 become 1. What do I have to do to each of those numbers? Multiply them together. When I do that, what do I get?
16.
16, okay? Now, there is one difference between the GCF and the LCM. What is the difference in one word? LCM. Leftovers. The main thing you've got to remember is you're just going to add in the leftovers, okay? The 2 still become 1. So as you can see down here, we know the GCF is 16, but the 2 become 1. And then you got to think about your leftovers, okay? Bring down that 3. Now all you're going to do is multiply all of those together. When you multiply them together, what do you get? 48 is correct. So your LCM is 48. So just as a reminder, remember, keep reviewing those concepts that we had on our last test because they will be on your next test, okay? Tonight's homework is here. As always, it's just 10 problems. So go ahead and write this down for me. And that is all you need for 4.6.